Very cool. Tony, what's going on? Do you not like Marc Maron? Does he not like you? What was that? What was that all about?
Whoa, just dropping a big one there. I mean...
Is there a beef with you and Marc Maron?
I mean, I don't ever acknowledge these guys, these mentally ill people, when they, go online and start talking about me and my friends.
Marc's a fossil. So his demo's 45 to 77.
No.
Listen, Maron's a soft... Jeselnik's different than Marc. I like Jeselnik. Jeselnik's different than Marc. Marc's a salty bitch.
All right, so it looks like the Rogan sphere is officially rattled after Marc Maron went on a mini tour calling them out a few weeks ago. And how can you tell it actually got to them? Because in the last couple of days, Tony Hinchcliffe, Brendan Schaub, and Chris D'Elia have all addressed it, and the tone is pure damage control. These are guys who usually shrug off hate because they get buried in it every day. But when Maron, a veteran with actual respect in the industry, puts their names in his sights, suddenly they can't help themselves. Here's the pattern. Instead of engaging with any of Maron's specific critiques, they fall back on the oldest cope in comedy. He's just jealous we're rich and famous. That line neatly sidesteps the substance of what Maron said about the Rogan inner circle, their vibe, and the brand of comedy they're pushing. It's also funny because these are the same dudes who love to lecture everyone else about how facts don't care about your feelings, but when the facts are about them, instant feelings, instant excuses, instant deflection.
I mean, it's one thing to pick on the vulnerable and the marginalized, but I mean, they're down.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
they're down.
Why do you got to keep hitting them unless you're a hack? Now, there's a question.
Wow. Marc,
He comes in swinging.
Yeah.
Well, at this point, it's lazy and sloppy and hackneyed. To be in a fucking club where, I'm walking down the hall at the comedy club, at the Comedy Store, and, in one room, someone's doing their bit about trans people, and then I get down the hall and there's someone on stage going, well, I guess I got to do my bit about trans people. Like, no, you don't. You don't. It's hack now. I mean, you guys got the freedom you wanted. You can now say whatever you want. They're defeated. Their rights have been denied.
Tony's response might be the flimsiest. On Legion of Skanks, he waved it off with, Maron only said my name to promote his special.
So what's his beef with you?
I mean, look, man, the couple guys out of LA that now, are at the Comedy Store that have talked shit when they have, their once every 3 or 4 years special that they do when they come out like a groundhog and do something that people might see.
Ooh.
Their new thing is like
Suck on that, Pauly Shore. I read between the lines.
And
Maron, Jeselnik, they all are on multiple episodes of Kill Tony. They've always smiled right to my face.
Phonies.
They all fancy enough, coincidentally, never leave avails when they know I'm going to LA.
Wow.
They're never around.
Wait, are they? Jeselnik also came at Kill Tony?
Yeah, Jeselnik. Well,
They've both done multiple appearances on Kill Tony, all pre-pandemic when we were in LA, and when they want to push things, they.
No, but I'm asking more like, did he recently say something about Kill Tony?
Yeah, I think Jeselnik's taking a bunch of shots, right?
Oh.
When he had a special to promote. Now he's going to be gone for a few years. And, while I put out 2.5 hours of comedy content every week.
Wow.
And, I don't blame them. If the shoe was on the other foot, if I was them, I would I'd be mentally maybe I would do it. He had a special to promote, and he's ending his podcast, Maron.
Yeah.
He's ending it because literally no one's listening to it.
Wow.
I mean, I don't know if you look at the charts at all. No, it's a thing. No one listens to it.
I just don't get being worked up about the stuff ever to be like this, to go like publicly be like, this scene sucks. Like,
yeah, and he also calls everybody a hack, and then he talks about Trump for 3/4 of his special, calling him Bad Orange Man, and then talks about his sad cats like he has for 45 years. So
that's what bothers me the most.
That's not really a rebuttal, that's just deflection. And honestly, Tony just comes off jealous. Both Maron and Anthony Jeselnik have called him out before for being hacky, and then they went on to release specials that actually landed well. Maron's HBO special Panicked scored a 7.6 on IMDb. Jeselnik's Bones and All pulled a 7.4. Meanwhile, Kill Tony's Netflix run, a brutal 4.8. And Tony's other specials didn't do much better. It makes sense why he doesn't crank out stand-up hours anymore. He knows what happens when it's just him on stage without the gimmicks, the panel, or the circus around him. Tony's other defense was that he pumps out hours of comedy podcast content every week. Cool, and creating is creating, but let's not pretend it's the same discipline. Kill Tony is basically an R-rated talent show where the payoff is humiliating beginners and riffing with friends. That's fine as a format, but it's not interchangeable with a crafted hour. Saying I do hours every week is like saying Wild 'N Out should be judged like a Burr, Gervais, or Carlin special. It's just not the same sport. Then there's the bit where Tony and the Skanks try to clown Maron for making a Nazi jab, calling it hacky and unfunny, while delivering a response that was somehow even hackier and even less funny. If you're going to declare someone else's joke a bomb, you probably shouldn't follow it up by bombing harder. Dave Smith's attempt at turning it into a bit fell flat enough that you could hear the room blink.
So he's calling you guys and Joe Rogan. He's right. Is that what's happening?
Yes,
essentially?
the two biggest, most watched podcasts.
Which is
yes.
such a fucking hack
What
thing
a
at this
coincidence.
point.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, like the whole Nazi thing. Like, I just kind of feel like that's such a 2016 thing to be calling comics.
Yeah,
to have
dude.
another comic doing it, it's fucking whack.
You're 2000 and late with that. You're so 2000 and late
We
with that Nazi
prefer
thing.
to be called hilarious Nazis.
Thank you.
But honestly, they're all missing Maron's bigger point. He wasn't just saying, you guys are edgy. He was saying, you guys have built this weird, insular, high society fraternity around comedy. It's the endless message of, normies could never understand the genius-level ball-busting we do behind closed doors. Rogan repeats that theme constantly, and to regular people it sounds pretentious. Walk onto any job site, any bar, any family barbecue. There are plenty of normies who are way funnier in real time than the myth the clique is selling.
Like, our culture is talking shit to each other. Like, the way we talk shit to each other, like, there's a lot of people in a lot of other jobs that would have a giant problem with what you and I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Like, if you cracked on me and it was fucking awesome and we're all howling, like, I could get you in real trouble if we were accountants.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
If we were accountants, that'd be a giant problem.
Yeah.
So we're used to fucking with each other, and we're used to laughing about stuff, and we're used to saying ridiculous shit that we don't really mean just for fun. And most people aren't. So this is our culture. This would freak, like, if you got normies and you brought them into the green room of the mothership, and we're all just hanging out one night, just talking and having fun, it'd probably freak them out that people talk like this. Like, Jesus Christ, you guys are at work and you talk like this? This is crazy.
Now let's talk Schaub and D'Elia. Their reactions were somehow sadder than Tony's. Say what you want about Tony. He's still in the current conversation. He's got a machine around him and can move the needle. Brendan and Chris, their moment passed years ago. By now, the golden hour feels like a retirement lounge for guys the Rogan ecosystem quietly left behind. So when they talk about Maron, it doesn't land like a counter argument. It lands like a grievance. It's, we got pushed out of the circle and we're mad about it and dressed up as comedy commentary. But anyway, that's my read. Was Maron dead on here, or are Tony, Brendan, and Chris just salty because the truth hit too close to home? Drop your take in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this, hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next one. I've got plenty more where this came from. See you in the next video of Hot Take Theater.